to forget for Spurs. Could be a season to forget, depending on how things turn out in the Europa League, out of the FA Cup, out of the League Cup. 14th in the Premier League at the moment. So all that leaves for Big Ange to follow up his comments that I always win something in the second season is that Europa League. After more questions about his future, Ange cut a frustrated figure in last night's press conference.
Look, I don't know how else to explain it, right? So I really don't know how else to explain it other than if you can't see that this team is just trying its hardest to play under the most extreme 2.5 months of asking 18-year-olds and 17-year-olds and senior players with no rest to play Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday. I'll keep going for 2.5 months. And if you think that that is not at all a factor of how this team is performing right now, then there's nothing else I can say. It can't be that people think that that's an excuse. That's just not anywhere near close to objective analysis. That's just agenda-driven stuff. If it's to get rid of me, then that's fine. You know, good on you. Go for it a million times. But in terms of this group of players, like I said, what they've given over the last 2.5 months has been outstanding. It's a credit to them. I can't speak highly enough of them.
Dan is a Spurs fan who I think wants to let off some steam. Morning, Dan.
Good morning, Dan.
Morning, gents. How you doing? You okay?
Very well, mate. Very well.
Good.
How are you?
I'm just fed up, mate, to be honest. I've got to a point where I'm in my own head. Like every fixture, I'm changing my mind, whether I want him, whether I don't want him. I know that's not my decision, and he said some valid things in that interview, but you listen to that Matt there who was getting really frustrated yesterday, or today, whenever it was. If you put Antonio Conte or Jose Mourinho in this position, I still think they pick up more points. I don't like the football. I don't want them back. I understand Ange's situation. It's horrible. Like, there's no other team with that many injuries. But you put them two in that situation, and I think we still pick up more points. Look at the Liverpool game. I looked at that and I just thought the Champions League final again. One shot on target. It's just like, I can't do it, mate. That was 6 years ago. And 6 years on with the same team. Same team. Different manager, different players, exact same team. And then a last thing, and I get the injury situation, but if you look at Liverpool, if you look at Arsenal, if they lose 10 players, they can put out a second 11 to a certain extent. You were speaking about the Liverpool bench the other night. Chiesa, all them other names on there. That's another starting 11. We haven't got that. We've got our under 21s.
Yeah, Dan, thank you very much indeed, mate. I can hear your frustration. Yep. Let's get the thoughts of a Spurs legend, old mate of mine. Very good morning to Clive Allen. Morning, Clive.
Good morning, Clive.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Gabby.
Look, Clive, these are difficult times for anybody connected with Tottenham, any Spurs fans. But is it fair to say at the moment they look devoid of confidence and maybe of direction as well?
I agree with you, Jeff. I think the confidence is rock bottom. It's been a massive week. It's been a disappointing week. It's been a massive demand on the younger players at the club, no doubt about that. And it just looks like the group that's been available to the manager is running on empty at totally the wrong time of the season with obviously the magnitude of the games.
Clive, I think Spurs have definitely had a lot of injuries, more than most teams, of course. But watching the game yesterday, and I'm looking at the first goal, and the first minute from the keeper to Digne, and then Rodgers can pick the ball up on his own, the most dangerous Aston Villa player, on his own in that sort of number 10 position, a bit deeper in the midfield, and then just run through into Ramsey, and he gets a shot off in the penalty area. It can't be that easy, can it, to create chances?
No, I think you're absolutely right, Gabby. I think the nature of the way the game started, now whether that was they're caught between trying to defend the situation right at the beginning, they didn't press in a way that we know they're capable of, and Aston Villa exploited that. It was the worst possible start if you're low on confidence. To go behind at Villa Park, is desperately not unfortunate, but it's not the way you want to start an FA Cup tie.
Do you think that from Ange's point of view, Clive, that Spurs have to win the Europa League?
Listen, Jeff, we all know the expectations at every club is that they want to win something every year. We went obviously deep into the League Cup. We managed to get to the fourth round of the FA Cup, but I think the most realistic competition is the Europa League. Everything's now in that Europa League pot. We have to go for it. League positions disappointing, and the opportunity is still there for what would be a big season. We saw it with West Ham a couple of years ago under David Moyes that they were capable, they were able, and they made it their priority. It's without a doubt Spurs' priority now.
I think as well, you win the Europa League, you go into the Champions League as well, don't you? So you look at the teams in Europa League, and yes, still some experienced teams in there, but Spurs should be, when they get all their players back, be one of the favourites still, shouldn't they, to try and get that trophy?
Absolutely, Gabby. I think that's what everybody's holding on to. There's no doubt that in the next couple of weeks, we don't have midweek fixtures. Mm-hmm. We have the opportunity whereby, or hopefully, big players will come back, experienced players.
Yes.
The pressure that's been put on those young players has been incredible. They will come out of it better players from the experience. It's been a tough experience for them, but with some of the senior players back for the Europa League round of 16, and that was massive that we didn't end up in the knockouts another 2 games. We go into the round of 16 in March, and an opportunity to be, let's just say, the squad will be stronger, and there'll be depth there for Ange to draw upon.
I'll tell you what, Clive, home to Manchester United next. 14th against 13th. It could be 15th against 14th, depending on the Everton-Liverpool result. It's just unthinkable in our time, really, isn't it?
Absolutely, Jeff. It is quite incredible that, that these two clubs, the history, the stature that they have, will be playing a Premier League game in those positions with the problems that face them. And it's always a big game, but this is a massive game, even though they're almost playing for nothing in the Premier League. But it is quite incredible that they're in that position.
Clive, lovely to see you, mate.
Thank you, Clive.
And you, Jeff.
Cheers, mate.
Good
Take
luck,
care.
Gabby.
Top man.
Spurs fans, don't forget, keep your calls coming in too. What would you want to do with your boss? 03717223344 is the number. Stephen Enfield has been texting us. He said, allowing for injuries, the worst Spurs side for years and the worst manager on a par with Christian Gross. Remember Christian Gross, Gabby? It's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, you need some of these players to get back now, Jeff. They need to get back players. I was saying it yesterday with Madge. They've got one of the best training grounds. Do you know what I mean? All the facilities. Some of these players now need to get off the treatment table, get off the heated beds in the training ground on the treatment table. Come and help your side, because these young lads playing every 3 days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Michael Moore, 17 years of age. Archie Gray, so young as well. They need a rest.
Yeah. Lots of texts are saying, Adam is typical here. He's a Derby fan, so no favouritism. Do you think the Spurs management team should take responsibility for the injuries? Which is a point a lot of people are making.
What's the training like? Is it training too intense?
What's training like?
Yep.
And Rory says Spurs aren't going to win the Europa League. Toothless, no confidence, no direction, no tactics. Never has the term Spursy been more apt.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.